All right. Welcome to another narration of mine. Settle in for a moment. This is where the voices I carry meet the version of the truth most people avoid, and where the things we uncover tend to stay with us long after the story ends. Only the brave souls and the fearless ones stay until the end. I never asked for the blue check. I woke up, rolled over, unlocked my phone, and boom, there it was. A bright little badge next to my handle, like someone had pinned a target to me while I slept. At first, I thought my job finally pushed it through. I'm a journalist, but nothing special. Mostly local stuff. Missing pet stories, restaurant openings, occasionally a robbery if the editor wants something with energy. I've never broken a big story, never gone viral. So seeing that blue check felt like waking up to a stranger inside your house, making you breakfast. My stomach tightened right away. It didn't feel like a win. It felt like someone had been in my accounts, poking around while I slept inches away. I checked my email. No confirmation message. No approval notice. Nothing. When I clicked the badge, it didn't show the usual verification reason. Just a blank box that flashed for half a second, like the app didn't want me seeing something. Whatever. Weird, but not terrifying. Not yet. The real trouble started when I posted my first tweet of the morning. Something normal. Busy day. Interviews at noon. Coffee first. Within seconds, the notification sound went off, over and over, like a broken smoke alarm. Hundreds of replies flooded in. Literally hundreds. I barely break 20 likes on a good day. And these replies, I didn't recognize the language. It didn't look like any language. No alphabet I knew. No symbols I'd ever seen. Every reply looked like it was written by someone smashing their forehead on a keyboard while trying to draw shapes at the same time. But when I looked too long, I swear the symbols seemed to adjust themselves, like they were twisting into new shapes just at the edge of my focus. The more I scrolled, the sicker I felt, like motion sickness behind my eyes, like something was slowly tightening in the back of my skull. The accounts replying weren't bots either. All verified. All with real-looking profile pictures. Smiling families, cute pets, office selfies, regular people. I tried to click one of their profiles, and my app locked up. The second I tried again, it booted me out of the app completely. When I reopened it, my timeline rearranged itself. All the tweets except mine vanished, replaced with a single pinned post from an account I'd never followed. At the whisper, under, "We see you now." I don't know why, but the skin across my arms prickled so hard it hurt. I tossed my phone onto the couch and tried to shake it off. Maybe it was a hack. Maybe it was some stupid marketing stunt. I had to get ready for work anyway. I figured once I got to the newsroom, surrounded by people, the weirdness would feel less like a threat and more like something to write about. But in the shower, something kept nagging at me. A feeling like someone was standing just outside the curtain, watching, waiting for me to say something first. I kept pulling the curtain back, half expecting a face pressed against it. Every time I checked, there was nothing. Just steam and a faint shadow that disappeared the second I tried to focus on it. By the time I got to the newsroom, my nerves were fried. I told my coworker Jenna about the blue check. She joked that I should be proud, but when I showed her my profile, the badge wasn't there anymore. She squinted at my phone. "I don't see anything weird," she said. But the second she handed it back, the badge was right there, bright blue, waiting. That was the moment something clicked. I realized this whole thing wasn't happening on Twitter. It was happening to me, like the app was showing different faces depending on who held the phone. I stayed late that night, trying to write. I couldn't concentrate. I kept refreshing my notifications. My hands shook every time the symbols appeared again. I started to notice a pattern, not in the characters themselves, but in how my brain reacted to them. Each time I read them, something small inside me shifted. A taste in my mouth, metallic and bitter. A ringing in my ears that wasn't there before. A strange pressure against my teeth, like I needed to grind them. At around 11 p.m., after everyone left, I looked at my profile again. My picture was different. Not a different photo, the same photo. But I wasn't doing what I remembered. I wasn't looking straight at the camera anymore. My face was turned slightly toward the right, eyes rolled just enough that too much white was showing. And the worst part was the mouth. My own mouth stretched at an angle I physically couldn't make. A smile. A wide, thin, watching smile. I froze. Every instinct screamed at me to close the app, throw the phone, run. Anything. But I couldn't look away. It felt like the picture was looking at me, not the other way around. Then the replies started again. Hundreds, thousands, filling the screen faster than I could breathe. The symbols twisted themselves into a new shape, clearer this time, closer to words, closer to me. One reply rose to the top of the thread, pinned somehow, even though I didn't pin it. "We are almost through. I swear to you." My reflection in the phone screen smiled too. I wasn't smiling. My face wasn't moving. But in the reflection, I watched myself grin, like I had been waiting for those words. That's when I knew I needed to record everything. Every detail. Every shift. Every message. Because something had started talking to me through that blue check. And whatever it was, it had plans. Awful ones. This is just the start. I haven't even told you what happened that night after I left the office, or what I found outside my apartment door, or what I heard whispering from my phone, even when it was turned off. I left the newsroom around midnight, and the whole walk to my apartment felt wrong. It was cold, but not the normal city night cold. It felt like the air kept thinning every block I walked. like I was climbing a mountain instead of walking home. Every streetlight I passed flickered. Not all at once, not like a horror movie jump scare. Just one flicker behind me, then a few seconds later, another one a little closer, like something was following me, but staying just out of the light. I kept telling myself I was tired. I mean, I'd been working all day, stressing over the weird verification thing, barely eating. Anyone would feel off. But then I reached my building, and the first real warning sign hit. Someone had slipped a piece of paper under my door. Not a note, not a flyer. Just a single sheet, folded twice, with no writing on the outside. I picked it up, feeling this weird heaviness in my hand. Like paper shouldn't weigh that much. I opened it, expecting some scam, or maybe a neighbor complaining about noise. Instead, it was a screenshot of my own Twitter profile. Except the profile picture wasn't just smiling this time. It looked like me, but the eyes were too dark. Not edited dark, like there was something behind my eyes in the photo, pushing forward against the skin from the inside. The skin around the mouth looked swollen, like I'd been forcing that smile way too long. Under the screenshot, someone had scribbled one sentence in tiny, rushed handwriting. "You need to stop reading them." I didn't know who wrote it, but just the idea that someone had been close enough to slide it under my door made my stomach churn. I dropped the note on the kitchen table, locked the door twice, and tried to distract myself with anything normal. I made some eggs, turned on the TV, tried to watch some dumb late-night cooking show, tried not to look at my phone, even though it was vibrating nonstop. But after about an hour, I couldn't ignore it anymore. The buzzing wasn't normal notification buzzing. It came in these strange bursts, like the phone was shivering. I finally picked it up. The lock screen showed dozens of missed notifications. The app icon had a small red number next to it. 999. Plus, I opened it. Every single notification was the same message from different accounts. Turn around. I dropped the phone immediately. My whole body locked up. My apartment was dead quiet, and I swear I could hear my pulse in my teeth. I didn't want to turn around. Every instinct refused. My back felt warm, like something stood right behind me, breathing gently on my neck. I stayed frozen for almost a full minute before I forced myself to look. Slow, mechanical, like my neck wasn't mine. There was nothing. No person, no shadow. Just my quiet living room. But on the floor behind me, right where it shouldn't have been, was my own profile picture printed out on glossy paper. High quality, fresh. Like someone had a printer running the moment I opened the app. The printed picture showed a new detail. My mouth wasn't just smiling anymore. The lips were stretched so thin they looked painful, and the cheeks were pulled upward, unnaturally high, like the face was being lifted from inside. I didn't pick it up. I couldn't. I pushed it away with my foot. heart pounding so hard it hurt. I needed help, or at least someone to talk to. I opened Twitter again, even though everything in my body begged me not to. I tried to tweet something simple. This isn't a joke. Someone is messing with me. But the second I typed it, the text on the screen rearranged itself. Same letters, same keyboard. But suddenly the tweet said, "You let us in." My fingers shook so violently I could barely delete it. I tried to screenshot the weird behavior. The screenshot came out blank, just a pure white image, like the app refused to be captured. Then something new happened. A little notification popped up at the top of the screen. At the whisper under, liked your photo. I didn't post any photo. Not recently, anyway. I clicked their profile. It finally loaded. Their banner image was a photo of my apartment building, my window, the one by my kitchen. Their pinned tweet was a blurry picture taken from the street, showing me inside, standing near my table. The exact moment I opened the folded paper. The kind of photo you only get if you're watching someone through their window in real time. I almost threw up. Right then, another DM came through from the same account. I didn't open it at first. But then another one came. Then another. My phone kept vibrating like it was alive in my hand. I finally tapped the message. It was a video, just 10 seconds long. The thumbnail was pitch black. I pressed play. The video was filmed in total darkness, but there was sound, slow breathing, way too close to the microphone, like the person recording didn't care about hiding. Then the screen flashed for a split second. Enough for me to see a face. My face. But the eyes weren't mine. They were wood and glassy, like they were reflecting something bright behind the camera. The mouth hung open, like the jaw was unhinged, and the smile stretched straight across both cheeks. Not cut, not bloody, nothing gory. It just looked wrong. Like skin shouldn't be able to do that, but somehow did. The video ended with a whisper, low, shaky, almost desperate. "Stop fighting." I dropped my phone so fast it cracked the screen. I didn't even care. I ran to every window, closing blinds, shutting curtains, checking locks like someone was already inside the apartment. But the moment I walked past the mirror in the hallway, I froze. I wasn't smiling, but my reflection was. Not big, not dramatic, just a tiny, knowing pull at the corner of the mouth, like it was warming up, like it was practicing. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on my couch, lights on, phone face down, staring at the hallway mirror every few minutes, just to make sure the reflection didn't move again. Around 4 a.m., something new happened. A sound from the bedroom. My phone, vibrating, even though the battery had died an hour earlier. I didn't move at first. My phone had been dead for over an hour. I watched it power off myself. But now, it was vibrating in the other room, low, and slow, like something buried under the mattress was trying to get my attention without waking the house. I stood in the hallway, just outside my bedroom door, staring at the dim crack of light across the floor. I should have ignored it. I should have grabbed my jacket and walked out of the apartment right then and there. But I didn't. Curiosity overruled fear. I opened the door slowly. My phone was sitting on the edge of my bed, face down, buzzing every 5 or 6 seconds like it had a pulse. And something else was off. My bed sheets were pulled down, neatly folded at the corners, like someone was inviting me to climb in. I hadn't made my bed in weeks. That's when I noticed it. The indentation, right beside the pillow. A clear dip in the mattress, like someone had been sitting there for hours, knees together, perfectly still. I walked over, heart hammering in my ears, and flipped the phone. It turned on. The screen lit up like it had full charge, even though the battery had died before. And this time, the lock screen wasn't my background anymore. It was a picture, black and white, low resolution. Looked like an old security cam. The image was of a room I didn't recognize. Bare walls, concrete floor, one metal chair in the center. Sitting in that chair was someone who looked exactly like me. Head drooped forward, shirt torn, skin too pale, like they'd been there a long time. The photo was time-stamped, 3 minutes ago. I unlocked the phone, shaking so bad I could barely tap the screen. No apps, just one new push notification. You are not alone in here. I dropped the phone, ran out of the bedroom, and locked myself in the bathroom. I was sweating so hard, my shirt stuck to me like glue. My mouth was dry, my legs were weak, and the silence in the apartment was suddenly too perfect, like every wall was holding its breath. After a few minutes, I turned on the sink just to hear something normal. And that's when I heard it. Not from the phone, not from the apartment, from the drain. A voice, faint, muffled, like someone whispering up through the pipes. I leaned closer, too numb to be scared anymore. My brain was past fear. It was somewhere between denial and a mental breakdown. The voice repeated the same phrase over and over. You're reading us wrong. It didn't sound like one voice. It sounded like many voices mashed together. Some high, some low, some that clicked between words like their jaws were broken. I backed out of the bathroom and turned off all the lights in the apartment. I know how stupid that sounds. I don't know what part of my brain thought darkness would help, but I couldn't stand the way everything looked under the bulbs. The walls looked too clean, like they'd been scrubbed in places I'd never touched. I sat on the floor in the living room, wrapped in a blanket, just rocking back and forth with my knees pulled in. My phone was still in the bedroom, but I could hear it start up again. The vibrations. Then the notification chimes. Then a new sound. The Twitter space. Pop. Like someone had gone live. I wasn't touching the app. I wasn't even logged in anymore. I had tried to deactivate the account earlier, but it wouldn't let me. It kept saying, "You can't leave yet." But now it was live, and I was the host, at least according to the message that flashed across the screen of the smart TV that wasn't even on. "At your handle is speaking now." I heard the TV speaker pop. Then it played my voice. Except it wasn't me. Not really. It was a recording of something I'd said earlier that day in the office, talking to Jenna. "I'm just tired. Something's off, that's all." But it didn't stop there. Next, it played a whisper layered underneath it. Not mine, not human. "Let them in. Just a little more. Let them see what you look like when no one's watching." I threw a pillow at the screen. Didn't matter. It kept playing my voice. It had hours of it, somehow. Old voicemails, Zoom meetings, even private conversations I'd had with myself. All being played back, like someone was building a personality from scratch, using me as the blueprint. The TV went black again after 5 minutes. Then, from the hallway mirror, I heard a knock. That mirror, the one I kept checking the night before. I turned slowly toward it. Just a sliver of it was visible from where I was sitting. But in that sliver, I saw something that made my spine go cold. My reflection wasn't sitting. It was standing, facing me, not moving, not smiling this time, just watching, like it was waiting for me to notice. I closed my eyes, just for a second, just long enough to breathe and hope when I opened them again, it would be gone. But when I opened them, the mirror was empty. No reflection at all, like I didn't exist anymore in glass. I don't remember how I made it through that night. I must have passed out at some point on the floor, because when I woke up the next morning, the sunlight was leaking in through a tear in the curtain. The apartment looked normal again. Phone was still dead. TV was off. No sounds, no vibrations, just morning. For a second, I thought maybe I hallucinated everything. Sleep deprivation, a breakdown, anything but what it felt like. Then I checked the hallway. The mirror was cracked straight down the middle. One long, clean break, like a knife through a photograph. And in the kitchen, another note on the table. This one wasn't folded. It was written in huge, jagged letters. "Stop tweeting." I haven't posted anything since. I haven't even opened the app. But I do keep getting letters, notes, messages, every single one in different handwriting. Some are warnings, some are threats. But one came last night that scared me more than all the others. It just said, "You don't remember what you posted last night." But I was asleep. I swear I was. And now I'm afraid to check. I didn't check my tweet history for almost 2 days. I couldn't. My hands shook every time I even thought about opening the app. The idea that I might have been sleepwalking or controlled or whatever the right word is, it made me feel sick. Like my own body had turned into a house I didn't have keys to anymore. But the letters kept coming. They weren't slipped under the door now. They were inside my apartment. Different places every time. On the fridge, on the couch, on top of my toothbrush. Someone was walking around while I slept, leaving messages in places they knew I would see first thing in the morning. And the handwriting changed every time. Big letters, tiny letters, shaky letters. Letters written so neatly, it looked like a teacher had done them. Like different people were warning me, or different versions of the same person. But the most recent note pushed me over the edge. It said, "Stop pretending you didn't see it." I couldn't avoid my phone anymore. I needed answers. I turned it on. It didn't show the Apple logo or the normal startup screen. It just lit up instantly, directly to the Twitter app, like it had been waiting for me. And my account was open. No password, no login screen, just my profile staring back at me. The banner photo, something I'd never changed, was now a picture of my apartment hallway. Except it wasn't taken from my perspective. It was taken from the opposite end, near the bedroom, meaning whoever took it was standing behind me on a night I didn't even know they were there. My bio was different too. Someone had edited it to say, "We keep you awake so you don't miss anything." I clicked my tweets. The top one, the one I supposedly posted while asleep, was time-stamped at 3:14 a.m., the night everything went silent. It was a video. No caption, just a 48-second clip. My thumb hovered over it for a long time. I felt like watching it might break something in me that couldn't be fixed. But I pressed play anyway. The video started in pitch black darkness. And then I heard breathing. Not calm breathing. This weird, unsteady sound, like someone was trying to hide their panic, but failing. The breathing wasn't mine. It didn't match my natural rhythm. After a few seconds, the camera flipped and pointed at me. Me, sitting on the floor of my living room, back hunched, head tilted at an angle no one naturally sits in. My eyes were open, but unfocused. Pupils huge, like I was drugged or hypnotized. My hands were resting on my knees, like I was waiting for instructions. But the worst part? I wasn't alone in the frame. Behind me, crouched low to the ground, was something shaped like a person, but not moving like one. Its limbs were too long, elbows tucked in close, knees bent outward. Its head hovered just inches above my shoulder, like it was smelling me. Its face was blurred, but not from motion. It was like the camera refused to capture whatever expression it had. And then the whispering started. Not from the thing, not from me. From the person holding the camera. A raspy voice, almost tender, like they were comforting a scared child. "He's almost ready. Look how well he listens now." I felt like my whole body was boiling from the inside out. At the 30-second mark, the camera zoomed in slightly. I didn't blink, didn't move, didn't flinch. Then the creature behind me stretched one impossibly long arm toward my face. not touching me, just hovering the hand above my head like it was scanning me. Then the focus changed. The video snapped into clarity for 1 single second. Just one. Long enough for me to see what the creature actually looked like. Its mouth wasn't on its face. Its mouth was on its neck. A vertical opening, closed tight, pulsing like a heartbeat under the skin. And the skin wasn't gray or pale. It was the exact tone of mine. Like someone had taken pieces of me and patched them onto something that wasn't human. The second the creature's hand moved closer, the video cut to static. Hard static. Not the digital kind, like old TV static, loud and messy, filling the screen with crawling noise. Then the clip ended. The view count was over 400,000. The replies were filled with more of the twisted symbols I couldn't read. My whole body broke out in cold sweat. I checked my DMs next, even though I didn't want to. There was only one message, from @TheWhisperUnder, the same account that had posted my apartment, my window, my silhouette. The message was sent just 6 minutes before I woke up. It only said, "We're finished rehearsing. The real part starts tonight." I stared at that message for maybe 2 minutes straight before I snapped out of it. My first instinct was to call someone, anyone. Police, a friend, my editor, even Jenna. But the thought hit me like a punch. If they saw that video, if they saw me like that, they would think I needed to be hospitalized. Or worse, they'd try to take my phone. And that didn't feel safe either. I decided to leave my apartment. Not move out permanently, just get out, breathe, see real people, touch something normal. I grabbed my keys, my jacket, shoved my cracked phone into my pocket, and opened the front door. On the hallway floor, right in front of my feet, was another note. Blank paper. No envelope. Like always. Except this one wasn't a warning. It wasn't a threat. It was a photo, printed in full color. A traffic camera shot of me crossing the street earlier that morning. Behind me, partially hidden behind a lamppost, was the creature, its neck mouth slightly open. And under the photo, someone had written, "You didn't notice." I didn't go outside. I couldn't. That photo on the floor, me crossing the street with that thing behind me, hit me harder than any video or whisper. Because if it was out there, if it could follow me in broad daylight without anyone noticing, then the city wasn't going to save me. People weren't going to save me. They couldn't even see it. I slid the door shut, locked it, and paced the apartment until my legs hurt. I didn't want to check my phone again, but something kept pulling me toward it, like a magnet. Not curiosity, more like pressure. Like if I didn't look, something would knock on the window or crawl out from under the bed. When I finally picked the phone up, the screen was already lit. Not the lock screen, not Twitter, the drafts page. The drafts page of my own account, open without me touching anything. There were 27 drafts, all from the past week, all written. At times, I knew for a fact I'd been asleep. The first few were short and harmless. They're closer tonight. Stop turning around. The air feels wrong. I clicked the next ones. The handwriting changed. The wording got stranger. The sentences curled and twisted like someone had written them in a panic. Don't let them line up behind you. The lights never help. You can stand still. Now they see you anyway. My hands went numb. I scrolled further down. Draft number 16 was the first one that felt personal. I am not the one writing these. Draft number 17. Please make it stop. Please tell someone. Please. Draft number 18 was completely blurred, like the app itself refused to let me read whatever was written. But draft number 19. Draft number 19 made my stomach flip. It wasn't typed. It was a photo. A picture of me lying in bed, on my side, blanket halfway down my chest. My eyes were open, staring directly into the camera. Not sleepy, not dazed, just staring like I was wide awake. Except I had no memory of posing for that photo. And the angle, it was taken from just above my pillow, right beside my head. I could see strands of hair on the edge of the frame that weren't mine. I almost dropped the phone. But there were still more drafts. Draft number 20 was just a shaky sentence. They know you're reading this. Draft number 21. Don't check the last one unless you're ready. Draft number 22. The face in the mirror isn't yours anymore. Draft number 23. You are making noise when you sleep. Draft number 24. You keep answering them even when you think you're dreaming. Draft number 25. We are done practicing with you. Draft number 26. Look at the last draft. It's time. I sat on the floor, phone shaking in my hand so badly the screen blurred. Part of me wanted to throw it across the room and run. Part of me wanted to smash it until the battery split open. But something deeper told me that if I didn't look at draft number 27, everything that had built up around me, the letters, the notes, the creature, wouldn't just continue. It would escalate. So I clicked it. Draft number 27 wasn't text. It wasn't a photo. It was a video again. I pressed play. The camera was pointed at a doorway inside my apartment. Not the bedroom door, not the bathroom. It was pointed at the hallway. At first, nothing happened. The camera was still. The lighting was dim. I recognized the view. It was taken from the floor, like someone had set the phone down right by the couch. Then I saw movement. Not walking, not stepping, sliding. Something slid out from the dark hallway, low to the ground, limbs tucked under its body, like it was pulling itself forward with its elbows. Smooth, slow, almost silent, except for a faint, dragging sound, like fabric on carpet. Its head rose, and I recognized it. Not the creature, not the thing with the neck mouth. This was worse. This thing had my face. Not perfectly, like someone tried to recreate me using a memory, that was a few days old. The skin tone was close but slightly off. The eyes were shaped like mine, but one drooped lower, giving it a sad, lopsided stare. The hair looked right, but too stiff, like it had been placed strand by strand. In the video, the copy stared at the camera for a long 15 seconds. Then it spoke, in my voice, but wrong, too slow, like someone learning how to pronounce human speech for the first time. You asked for this. I instinctively looked toward the hallway in real life. Empty. But the air felt heavier, like it knew I was watching. Back to the video. The copy began crawling closer to the camera, its joints bending at angles mine couldn't. Its fingers were too long, its breathing too loud. The skin around the mouth twitched, like it was trying to smile, but the muscles didn't work right. It got so close to the lens that all I could see was my own distorted face. Then it whispered, "Stop being awake." The video ended. I just sat there, staring at the screen, struggling to breathe. My notifications refreshed automatically. One new message from @TheWhisperUnder. Just 2 words. Your turn. Right then, something tapped on the wall behind me. 3 soft knocks. I didn't turn around. I stared dead ahead, shaking, listening as the knocks moved from the wall to the floor, to right beside the couch. There are no more drafts now, no more warnings. Every night since, I hear breathing in the hallway, slow, steady, patient. Like something is practicing how to sound, like someone who belongs here. I haven't slept in almost 4 days. I keep checking the mirror every hour to make sure my reflection is still lined up with me. Sometimes it lags. Sometimes the mouth moves a second too late. And tonight, the breathing is closer than usual. Right by the doorway. Right where the creature stood in the video. I can hear it trying to match my own breathing. I'm typing this with one hand, while the other holds the bedroom door shut. Something's pressing back on the other side. Not hard, just enough to let me know it's there. And my phone keeps lighting up. Drafts are appearing again. I haven't written any of them. The newest one says, "Open the door." If I post this, and you never hear from me again, you'll know why. And if I do come back, don't thirst me so easily. It may look like me, but will it really be me?